Hello, friends. I hope y'all are having a good night. I had to really spend some time monkeying around with these projects, and so we're gonna create our card live. I can show you some pieces of the card that we're gonna use, but we are going to use this cool new bundle called Ringed with Nature. Now, at first glance, I'm like, do I really need tree rings? Like, we have flowers, we have butterflies, but tree rings, I was like, I don't know. But the more I see projects with it, this is the way it always works. The more I see projects with it, the more I am drawn to it. And we used this bundle at my team meeting this weekend. So I definitely purchased it because I wanted to use it to make, I had to use it to make our projects. I have a friend that designs my projects. Hello, April. And this was what it was. And so I said, okay, there's my cue that I'm going to need to get that bundle. Let me get these cards there across the room that we made. Hold on. These are much simpler cards that we made at our team meeting using the Ringed with Nature bundle, okay? So you can go simple with them, but you can see these cute little rings get cut out. It cuts out these little acorns that can also be mushrooms and also be gumdrops if you're a candy person. We've got some little fronds, this cool poinsettia, and these cute little houses. These are definitely my favorite part of the designer paper. Now, you won't find the designer paper in this catalog because, more excitingly, it is featured in our celebration catalog. So it is free with a $50 purchase. And you may say, but Kay, it's not January, it's not celebration, but it is. Stampin' Up! Now has a summer celebration, so you are not wrong. It's not January. It is summer celebration. And when you spend $50, you can choose this Rings of Love celebration paper for free. This bundle is called Ringed with Nature, and the paper is called Rings of Love, but for some reason I keep singing Seasons of Love from Rent every time I see that. All right, so, but what I'm drawn to, I do love these cards, but the card that caught my eye, I was really gonna not do a lot of Christmas projects until later because it's so hard when we get so excited about Christmas and then it takes so long to get here. But then I saw this card and I said, okay, I have to make that. That is so pretty. So that's what we're doing tonight. And I've been experimenting, and I think I've figured out what goes on each part of the card. So we are going to knock it out together. All right, so what was confusing me, this is my first pass, and I was like, well, that just doesn't look like theirs, because I noticed that their little roof to their house is like a very light color. And I pulled up my list of things used to make the project, and I noticed that these items were on the list of things used. And this is a set of Pearlized Enamel Effects. And there's also a black that comes with it. I'm looking for it. I've set it, oh, here it is. So it comes in white, red, and black. Okay, we're just going to use the white and the red tonight. And then I was like, well, how did they get that on the project? Well, they called, the recipe list called for blending brushes. So we're going to use those too. Now, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, these recipes, when you're a happy shopper, which I am, I sell Stampin' Up! Supplies, in case you didn't know, you get access to lots of things. And one of the things that we have access to is a recipe list of everything used to make the cards in the catalog. So if you're ever curious about what was used and you're a happy shopper, then you go where the digital catalog is under Happening Now, and you see the part that says sample recipes. But if you're not a happy shopper, first of all, why not? Second of all, if you're not, then you can ask me and I can look it up for you and tell you what was used to make that card. All right, hi there, Patience. We have Barb, April, good night, Patience. Okay, so get ready for some Christmas extravaganza. Now we're going to start with a piece of sweet sorbet. And let me see if that's going to look right. Yep, that's going to look good. I wasn't sure because I just wasn't. All right, so we're going to take a piece of sweet sorbet and we're going to cut that at 5.5 by 4 1/4. 5.5 by 8.5. Ooh, I got a new paper trimmer and it's, hello, Ellen. And it's very sharp, which is cool. It's just, I just decided I needed two because I have so many classes and we're always needing an extra paper trimmer. So I just got myself one. That's one nice thing about being a happy shopper is I can buy things that I need without using my family's budget. All right, now we're gonna use a piece of this designer paper. Now this is some of the free designer paper. Now you can see they used a real pretty monochromatic designer paper, which we're going to use in a second. This is from the Brights, and actually I do think they may have even used this piece of paper from the Candy Cane suite, which I was going to use, but then I settled on using this because I just love it so much. So we're going to just stick this down with Stampin' Seal. Now, one of the great things about watching me do a video is that I've already kind of battled the product that we're using tonight, so I can show you how not to use it as well as how to use it. And by what I'm talking about, the bundle that we're using. So we're just gonna, and I cut this little sweetie out with one of my favorite dies from the Scalloped Contours dies. So this is a must-have die for your collection. It's just basically a standard die that you're going to need for paper crafting because it's so versatile. You probably already have it if you're watching this video. Haha. All right, now, then when I was looking at this card, I was like, do they stamp and then send it through the emboss machine, or did they emboss and then stamp? And I tried it both ways. Sometimes that's the only way you can figure it out. And I learned that they first cut out the rings, then they stamped on them. The what I can tell. So the thing about the recipes is the recipes tell you what's in the card. They don't tell you how they were made. So you do still have to kind of figure it out. All right, so you're going to start with I used a half a sheet of crumb cake paper to cut out these tree rings. You could probably go smaller, but I just didn't want to fuss with not having everything I needed. Now, here's the key to using this hybrid embossing folder. Let me back up for a second. So what we're working with today is our Ringed with Nature bundle, okay? And the different thing about this bundle is that it comes with an embossing folder. So it's a little bit pricier than our standard bundles that are $50-ish. This one it's on page 62. It's a little bit more because it has the embossing folder with it. Yeah, oh, actually, it's only $53. So, color me wrong. Even better. All right, so it's cheaper than I thought. All right, so what I did, I tried this so many ways. I was like, how do they get the cutout plus the embossing? So first what I did is I embossed the paper, and then I put it through with this die that cuts out the tree rings, and that just made the little lines on there get smushed. So that didn't really work. And then the second time let's see, what did I do next? I cut out the little circles and then I put them in there each individually like this. And then I ran that through the emboss machine. And that just still was tedious. I was like, this shouldn't be that hard. Well, then I watched the video from Stampin' Up! Because why would you do that first, right? And what I learned is this is a hybrid embossing folder. It uses the dies with the embossing folder, okay, at the same time. So you literally lay your die into your embossing folder. Now the good thing is there's only one way it'll go in here. Like you can't go this way, you can't go this way. There's only one way that it will fit properly. So it fits right in these grooves. Okay, now you can see there's the raised edge. That's the part that your paper needs to be against. Okay, so just remember your paper needs to be against the cutting part of the dies. Okay, so you can see we've got that die sandwiched in there. And we're going to run this through. Now, what's important about your emboss machine so you don't trash it, you're taking everything off except for your bottom plate, the number 1. And then you're going to set this down and you're going to use your fancy number 4 plate, which is, I can't remember, embossing plate or something, but it's going to get just the right pressure. If you try to use a different machine or something else, you're going to struggle. So you need to go ahead and get this machine and get this specific plate because it's made to use with our dies. All right, so now you've got this cute set of tree rings that are embossed and cut. Okay, so that's what we mean by hybrid embossing folder. So now our little tree rings are ready to rock and roll. Now, it looks like my little thing jumped. So if you want to, you can like trim around that. Usually you don't have to if the die is in just the right place, but I think I got it a little off kilter. So just trimmy if you're being OCD. If you're not, don't. All right, so you're gonna get 5 rings, but you're gonna keep these three biggest ones. Save these for later. I'm sure you can find a project to use that with. Don't put your emboss machine away, okay, because we're gonna use that again in a second. So now let's get our rings created. So let's start with our simplest ring. That's the smallest, and we are going to stamp just for you. Now I used garden green, and you want to get good contact with your ink and then decent contact with your tree ring. So you don't necessarily want to use the Stampin' Pierce mat under it because I like how you can kind of see the groovy lines there. So you just kind of will find what that special pressury edge is. And then you're going to use a darker brown. You could use either early espresso or soft suede, and you're going to use a, what do you call this thing? Oh, I got to trim that too. I just jumped all over the place on that one. When you have it in the right place, it works perfectly, I promise. So you're going to sponge onto the edge of it. And does that not just look so cool? That just took it to a whole nother level. Love that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is stamp our house. Now I was confused because, but before we do that, we're going to stamp our house. Hello, Kathy. We're going to stamp one crumb cake house on a piece of scratch paper, and you'll see why in a second. So before you get your house all inky, stamp it on crumb cake with crumb cake. So tone on tone stamping. And then clean that off. Got a little cleaner here. I love my Stampin' Scrub. It's really good. I got out this craft white ink and I was like, oh yeah, we gotta get our Stampin' Scrub because we're getting messy. All right, So you are going to use Stampin' Up's white ink pad, okay? And this is our only craft ink pad that we sell. It's a white craft ink. It actually comes with a reinker as well, so that's cool. And yours may look a little bit different. Mine's a little old. If you get a new one, it might look a little different. So first what we're going to do is we're going to ink it with the craft white. And the instructions for this project used craft white. Well, when I first did it, I was like, okay, that's just straight craft white. And it doesn't really jive because it doesn't look like the picture in the catalog. And that sent me to the list of products where I learned that they used this cool Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics white. All right, so we're going to get a pretty good squeeze of this white pearlized goodies here. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. It's like a pearl. And we are going to take that and we are going to rub it all over this little house, okay? And you don't really want to scrub it, you want to like dab it. So get it nice and good. Now, if you try to stamp just directly with the pearlized, it's not going to be dark enough. So that's why we did that. Now, we do want to stamp this on the lower edge of our tree rings, because when we create the card, you'll see why. Yeah, okay. Now let's get our Stampin' Pierce mat under that and try that again and see if we can get good contact with that paper. Oh yeah, much better. So that's our little house. And then the roof, we are going to stamp with Sweet Sorbet first, and then we're going to do the same thing with the reddish Pearlized Enamel Effects. This is real red, but it actually looks like Sweet Sorbet, to be honest. And we are going to rub that around, and we're going to smack it all over our roof here. And so the ink just gives it a little extra punch, mixes it in with that pearlized sweetness. And you do want to make sure and rinse these when you're done, because this stuff is... yes, I agree, Kathy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the great thing about Stampin' Up! Is things just never break. If they do, they're not expensive to replace. All right, so now you've got your little roof. It's a little more, it's not crisp, and that's exactly how the picture in the catalog was. So, let's see if I can go to it again and show you. So it's dark, it's light, which is cool. All right, now we're gonna, oops, sorry. Now we're gonna brown out our, what do you call it? Now we're gonna come back and do something else to this house, but I'm gonna give it a second to dry. So I'll come back to the house. All right, so there's our house. And the third thing we're gonna stamp is our poinsettia. Oh my gosh, when Ben was in his junior year, he sold 1 million poinsettias to earn a trip to go on a European trip with school. Of course, it got canceled because of COVID, but we had so many poinsettias in our house that I will never forget that. It was so funny. Our entire office was filled with poinsettias. It was so funny. And I appreciate any of y'all that participated in that. I put all that money in an account, and he is that's weird. Okay, so we are going to stamp this. Oh, Susie's here. All right, we're gonna stamp this, and it's gonna be more muted than if we stamped it in straight Sweet Sorbet. And I love that because I'm trying to find the one where I stamped it straight, but this is what it looks like when it's just stamped straight on. it's very dark, and that's not really what we're looking for. If you stamp on a real tree ring, which I have before, then it's going to be sort of muted, right? It's not going to be super dark. And then in the stamp set, we have a little, we pull out the stamp set again. Boy, I've made quite the mess here. Sometimes I think it would be funny for y'all to have a camera from another angle to see the mess that I'm making as I do this. But this is the little stamp that's in the middle of here, and we are going to just use, I chose to use the garden green that I had sitting out to make the little dots in the poinsettia. So just a dark color right there. And we are going to get our soft suede that's on our, what do you call this? These are sponge daubers, and they're invaluable. You need a pack. They come in a pack of 5. They're so affordable. And does that not just make the biggest difference? I mean, compared to that, yes, it does look like real wood here. All right, so we have our house and our poinsettia and our just for you. Now, this is the part that I said I was going to come back to while it dried. So I noticed, oh, good question, Susie, because you're just joining us. We mixed, I put sweet sorbet ink on here, and then I sponged on Pearlized Enamel Effects, and same with the house, craft white, and then I sponged on Pearlized Enamel Effects, and that's directly to the stamp. So I just went like this, got it all inky pearly. So it's a mixture of ink and pearl. So exciting. You sometimes make the color edge on the inside. Oh, that's neat, Barb. That's a great way. That's a great way to accent your sentiment and draw attention to it. Now, I could leave the house as is. That's obviously a house. But I noticed that their house had brown windows and doors. And for the life of me, I have no idea how they did it. I can't really, but it looks like it's cut out and attached. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to cut out our, and I think I'm just going to do the, like they did, just the window and door. So you're just cutting around this crumb cake thing that you, house that you stamped. And, oh, you know what? Just made me think about if they could have possibly cut it from, no, I was thinking they might have cut it from these houses, but they didn't. Thank you for sharing, Kathy. You're so sweet. So thoughtful. Everybody share, share, share. The more the people that watch, the merrier. It's so fun when we have friends. Okay. Now, we're going to attach these two with our glue. So the door goes here. Oh, and the window goes here. So hopefully that will cover up really nicely. My glue bomb. This is why I don't use glue. I'm not old enough to use it apparently. Okay, so now it really looks like a house, but now I want to put that window in. I just can't skip it. I don't know about you. I gotta put it in. I just have to be extra. Why not? Okay, hopefully it won't glob again. Okay, just a dabble do. All right, now we're gonna stick our little window. Oh my gosh, it's perfection. Yes, it is so cool, Susie. Okay, so now your 3 pieces are ready. Now we're gonna build the rest of our card. Now what we're gonna use for this are these 2 dies from the die set. And the coolest one of the coolest things about this die set that I love it when Stampin' Up! Thinks about us and they think about what we need, and what we need is for things to go faster. Always. We're always wanting to go faster. And so they gave us multiple dies. They gave us 1, 2, 3, 4 of these dies that make these little branches. And for whatever reason we have one of these. Don't ask me. I have no idea. Okay. So back to our emboss machine. We're gonna cut out some little pieces. I've already cut one here. And we're just cutting out some fronds. So we're gonna cut out these fronds from this is from the designer paper stack that is the new in colors. And then our darker color is from the neutrals designer stack. So I suggest that you just get all the designer stacks and have them, because you never know when you're going to need one of these monochromatic pieces of paper. All right. So we're going to try to cut a lot of these at once. We're going to cut all 4 fronds. And then this little guy is going to be cut from a lighter color, which is Parakeet Party. All right, so we are gonna go whoop-de-doo, getting that cut, and then we're going to cut one more of these. We're going to cut 2 of these. So I need to pop this out. I don't know, where is your take your pick tool when you need it? Not here, apparently. Hollies and berries. Exactly, that's what it is. And we're going to use our Pearlized effects for our holly berries. You'll get ready. We're not even... This is definitely an avid card, so this is definitely a card that you're going to set out to make a masterpiece rather than multiples. Like this is one where you're just going to go big or go home, right? All right, now what we're going to do... Actually, I'm going to do the Pearlized effects at the very end because that is just the way I'm going to choose to do it. All right, so we have our card base. And let's get our little friend so we can see here what we're doing. Now we're going to start adding on our ringy dingies. Let's put down our poinsettia here. Let me see how this is gonna go. I don't want to cover it up too much. I like it. This is gonna go on. And then we're gonna pop this one up with dimensionals. Okay. So let's grab some of those. Oh, nice. Now, I started this video and it didn't work because Facebook changed today. And so I will put all of the materials I used, all the numbers for the materials that I used as soon as we're done here. So you'll know what to purchase. Oh, you know what? Let's move that over just a smidge because you're going to have a lot to put under there. I don't want it to be fighting with stuff. I'm going to move this up some. Sorry, friends. I just kind of want it all to show. There we go. Okay. So that one goes up with dimensionals. And now we're going to pop out these pretty darker green fronds. Now, in retrospect, I probably would have used this color Evening Evergreen designer paper now that I look at it, but this will be fine. But if you're recreating this card at home, then you can use that from the new, I believe that one's in the neutral stack. Oh, I know what. No, that one would be in the in color stack. All right, so what I do when I'm sticking fronds down behind stuff is I grab glue dots and I just put one little glue dot on the back of it and I shove it under. And then you're going to do that with all 4 of your little frondies. Oh my gosh, that one I got a little aggressive there, sorry. No worries. And then we're going to put these are made from designer paper, so you got to remember they're not like cardstock. You got to kind of be sweet to them. And just make sure your fronds don't hang off the edge of your paper, off the edge of your card. So that would just look weird. Okay, so I'm gonna make this one go way down here. Like so. Okay, loving it. Now, this is the final fancy, and that is our little green frondies with our holly berries. Now, what I'm gonna do first is stick these down with their glue dots. I'm just curious if you guys have to have this bundle now. Like, first of all, did you buy it right off the bat, or did you decide now that you needed it? Because it definitely was one that I was like, I don't know, but oh my gosh, all the yes now, all the yes. Because think about how gorgeous it's going to be for the fall. Like, this is Christmas, but you've got so much to do with it even before then. So you could use it with that cute little squirrel set that we have. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got our holly berry situation going here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make little berries on our project using the Pearlized. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. You know what it reminds me of is when I was a kid and I've always been crafty, but we had like t-shirt paint. Like, that's kind of the consistency that it is. It's very thick, and you can see it is not fighting me. It's not fussing with me. Like, it goes exactly where you want it to go. And oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love it. And it's not like dripping. It's going exactly where it needs to be. But obviously, when you're done putting all these little daubies on, then you would want to set it on a counter and walk away. Like, don't mess with it until probably the next day. But oh my gosh, it's not the perfect accent to, and actually I didn't even notice this when I saw the card. I was so drawn by the rings that that's when it dawned on me when I saw that they were using this Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics Real Red. That's what I realized they did it for. But oh my gosh, eek. You can see how 3D that is. Wow. Okay, so I know, thank you, Barb. It just goes and goes. So I'm going to put this on the shelf as soon as we're done here. But you're going to want to get all of these items. You need a white craft pad. You need all these pearlized. These come in a set of 3, so red, white, and black. You need the bundle, which comes with the tree rings and the embossing folder, and this cool stamp set. Keep in mind, it's going to go through all the seasons. Now let me show you once again those cards that we made at the team meeting using the Ringed with Love bundle. So the houses are everything. We have poinsettias, acorns, C for fall. Remember, when you spend $50, which the bundle is right at $50, then you will get this design or paper. Okay, I have to move this. I'm getting high blood pressure. You're going to get this designer paper for free. So you've got all the seasons. This is every day, no particular season. Christmas, spring, fall, more spring, in my opinion. All seasons. This is the back. It's like a wintry, and if this bird is not the cutest. And then this tree ring piece, no surprise, matches the tree ring die. So we all kind of laughed how long it took me to match it up, but it does match up pretty easily once you find it. Like it's like a puzzle. Okay, there we go. Nope, not quite. Close, very close. This has to go here. It does match. Oh, there we go. See? So you can use that piece with the tree ring thing. And then we have these cute little mushrooms on the back of that. So that's what you want to choose for your free item with $50 purchase. I have 10 packs of it already. Okay, those are some cards. Now, here are a few more cards that I'll show you that use that designer series paper that I've received during some swapping. Our cute little house card. Some of these people's names have fallen out of here. This might have been made by Ruth Bingle. That little bird. Oh my gosh, Lynn Feldkamp. Another little bird. See if they still have someone's name in it. And then this is a symbol card using that fall kind of mushroomy Melanie Hawk in. Okay, and this is just a pretty card that got snuck in there. Okay, so that's what I have with the tree ringed with nature. Make sure and purchase all of that. I will put all the item codes in this video. If you're watching me on Facebook, definitely you want to subscribe. I mean on YouTube, subscribe to my channel so that you can see all my cool videos every week. Thanks for watching.